like, I have a very clear narrative of how I started posting TikToks, things that happened that were good, things that happened that were bad, things that set me back, things that helped me, and what eventually led me to being in front of who I'm ever speaking to at that time. And the story is pretty consistent, and it's true, it's accurate, it's not a lie, it's just obviously the truth of how everything happened is significantly more complex than that, but it would be weird if I took them through it in depth. So I pick and I choose the important points of the story to give them a good overview, right? Like any good storyteller does. And the reason it was interesting to me is because I know there's so much more to everything that's happened to me in the last couple of years and happened in my life. But I know there's so much more to that than just the pieces of the story that I choose to give that I think are important or that I think are noteworthy or admirable. I guess I was just aware of the fact that I was doing it, and I don't think it's something that I'm doing. I think it's literally just the way humans communicate. Like, it was just an observation. I just became aware of the fact that this is something people do and something that I do recently, because it was the first time that it happened frequently enough for me to be like, I almost have a script at this point, you know? And then when I threw up and I actively tried to change my story, the story I've told myself my whole life, which is I have a crippling fear of throwing up and of illness, and I have OCD, and I have all these things, and yes, it's true, I do. I have had, and I have struggled with them, and I don't think you can just talk yourself out of mental illness by any means. But I thought it was worth at least humoring the idea that in this moment of I finally had a new experience to view how I want to view. I was like, okay, well, now that I can form my own opinion on this experience that I've had, do I have to agree with the fact of the matter, which was, yeah, it was scary. What if I just lie to myself and I'm like, no, really wasn't that bad, you know? Like, I think that I remember the day I learned about the term self-fulfilling prophecy. I was in a sociology class and I was like 17, and my teacher told me what a self-fulfilling prophecy is. And I realized there was something huge in my life that was a massive self-fulfilling prophecy. Sorry, the idea of self-fulfilling prophecy, for you idiots who don't know everything I know, is, let me Google it. Oh, wait, I don't even have Wi-Fi. Shit. What the fuck is it? Self-talk. There we go. How come my laptop has Wi-Fi and my phone doesn't? A self-fulfilling prophecy is when a belief or expectation, whether positive or negative, about person or event influences behavior in a way that makes the initial belief come true. So you have a belief, and that influences what happens to make that belief a reality. For me, what was happening, what I realized by learning this term, was that I believed that I was bad at school. I just always have belief, and it didn't really make much sense to me because I was never bad at school. I've never been an idiot. Like, I realized when I was 6 and I got put in special ed classes, that wasn't because I couldn't read, it was because I couldn't speak. I know that doesn't sound much better, but humour me, I was mute, and I understood everything in front of me, but no one knew that because I wouldn't communicate it. And so I was in special needs classes in primary school, in reception, and in year 1. And I remember being confused. No one in here can read or what? Like, everyone else in the other room could read. I don't like this room. It's weirdly warm. Like, let me out. They didn't let me out for years until I started talking. Let me out. But like, and then there was just a lot of little things that happened in my educational career that I misinterpreted to mean that I was very bad at school. And it was like, the grades were never the issue. It was just like, shit kept getting in my way. Like, for example, I was in special needs classes, and then I got expelled at age 7, which is honestly commendable as fuck, because I was just dying on business, to put it fucking simply. And it was not cocking to them. Actually, it was cocking to them, that was the problem. And they kicked me out. But, and then was my next excuse for my bad behaviour. Or bad grades. Let me think. Let me pull it out my ass. Then I was homeschooled, so I really was an idiot for a sec. Then I went back to normal school, and then I was like kind of fine, and then I turned 13 and my life blew up. So basically, I had just this like deep